10 Best PS4 Games to Buy with Engaging Storyline. Everything in this world has a story. Our ancestors have been telling us stories since then, and these stories are passed on to this generation. Isn't it amazing that a story has no end at all? Day by day we encounter different stories from different people, and every day we are also making our own story. That is the #1 goal of every game designer. To give you the best PS4 games to buy with the best storyline that you will remember for the rest of your life. Way back then until now, there are a plethora of games that you can choose from. But not all these games are successful and able to convey their message to the players. Why? It is because they are lacking the ability to tell the story. Story is what makes gamers hooked throughout the whole gaming experience. PlayStation and different game developers have come off with a variety of best PS4 games to buy. We compiled at least 10 PlayStation 4 games to begin with. Brace yourselves and be ready to get immersed with these remarkable games. Let's begin. 10. What Remains of Edith Finch Genre, Adventure Game Overview. This is one of the best PS4 games to buy. In this game, you will be playing as Edith Finch. The story is all about unveiling the family secrets of Edith Finch. There are rumors about having family curses, which could be possibly not a rumor at all. There is a house in the game that was lived by 4 generations of the family. Edith Finch lived in the house with her mother and grandmother until she was 11. The house was abandoned. Her mother and grandmother don't like to talk about the curse of their family until they are all dead. Edith Finch has no clue. But her dead mother left her the key to the house. When Edith Finch is finally 18, she had the guts to face the mystery about their family. She went to the abandoned house. As you explore the house as Edith Finch, you will discover lots of rooms in the house which are all sealed. In order to unlock them, you need to discover how you will unlock them. Make sure to read and touch different things in order to discover them. Upon entering the rooms, you will be mesmerized on how well detailed each room was. You are able to know what type of family member was staying there back then. You will also find documents inside the rooms in the form of letters. These letters came from the family member sharing their memories with you. While exploring each room, you will be familiarized with the face of the family members. Edith Finch has a journal with her where she draws the face of each family member on a family tree. Yes, a family tree which she uses for tracking the past generations of the family. The setup is indeed realistic. And if you think that you have seen all the rooms, well, we guess that you haven't been into secret tunnels and secret access to the rooms. Who would have thought that a bookshelf can be a passage to a secret room? The game is kind of short when you compare it with some adventure games because you can play it for 2 hours, but it is one of the best PS4 games to buy. If you can only play this game all over again without knowing the ending, you will. This is not just a game, but this is definitely an awesome experience. 9. Shadow of the Colossus Genre, Action, Adventure, Puzzle, Kaiju, Giant Monsters, Overview. A game remastered from PlayStation 2 and now one of the best PS4 games to buy. Since this is remastered, there is a visual update, yet the story remains heartbreaking. The setting of this game happened during the ancient world. A land has been cursed and it is known as the Forbidden Land. You will play the role of a warrior. There is no specific name for the character, but the character is most likely called by gamers as Wander or Wanda. During your exploration in the Forbidden Land, you cannot help yourself to feel amazed about the landscape of the game. The mountains, desert and falls. They are all mesmerizing. A horse was used for traversal and can be ridden while chasing the giant monsters. While playing this game, the question will be, how much can you endure just to bring someone into life? A story that is indeed touching and heartbreaking. At the beginning of the game, it was said that in order to bring Mono back to life, a deceased woman which the main character has an undying love, the warrior needs to slay 16 colossi. Mono died because she has been a sacrifice to a curse. And an entity has given the instruction to the warrior in order to bring Mono back into life. You will experience lots of boss fights in this game. You need to jump and climb up to these giant monsters in order to slay them to their flesh. You can use your sword and bow to kill each colossus one by one. If you are having trouble killing the colossi, always remember your purpose. Take the challenge and save the life of your deceased loved one. Slay 16 colossi and your wish will be fulfilled. 8. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice genre, action, adventure, hack and slash overview, one of the best PS4 games to buy, indeed. This is a game that talks about mental illness. Senua, the captain warrior of a tribe, has a mental illness called psychosis. Psychosis affects how your brain processes information. This condition may detach you from reality. During this game, you will be exposed by the sadness, fear and loss being felt by the main character, which is Senua. This game is dark yet a beautiful masterpiece. The setting of this game is during a mythical century in which people are exposed with Norse mythology. As you play the role of Senua, your purpose is to redeem the soul of your lover that has been slain. In your thrilling journey to face the god of death, you will experience lots of puzzles and obstacles. For the full experience, we suggest that you use headphones. This will make you feel that you really are into the game. The surreal feeling is there. Since Senua has been traumatized and experiencing psychosis, she experiences sudden hallucinations throughout the game. There are also creepy voices that you will hear while exploring the game that develops a state of confusion to the character. The only advice that we could give when you play this game is that, do not trust anything that you see and hear into the game. You might experience a lot of danger, so make sure to practice Senua's combat skills. Trust your guts because you might get stuck between reality and imagination throughout the game. Do not forget to take a deep breath because this game is definitely an insane experience. 7. Final Fantasy XV, Reclaim Your Throne genre, role-playing game, RPG, overview. In order to restore back the light and overcome the darkness, the throne should be reclaimed. If you have been playing Final Fantasy since then, you might be familiar with the characters in this game. You will play the role of Noctis. Noctis is the crown prince in the kingdom of Lucas. He is the 114th in the bloodline of Lucas. He is now responsible for reclaiming the throne in order to bring back peace. Since his mother and father already passed away, he felt alone, but he was thankful enough to be surrounded with his amazing friends that will join him on his journey of reclaiming the throne. 3 of his friends will accompany him, and they are Ignis, Gladius, and Prompto. Ignis is his childhood friend. He grew up with Noctis and he will be his advisor once he reclaims the throne and becomes the king. Gladius is known as his sworn sword, who swore an oath of loyalty. He is the protector of Noctis because he came with the line of family that protects the kings of the kingdom of Lucas. Another one is Prompto, who went to the same school with Noctis, but they just became friends during high school. Throughout the game, they will all together fight with gods, raid dungeons, encounter new people, complete quests, hunt monsters, and unveil secrets. It deserves to be one of the best PS4 games to buy. 6. Uncharted 4, a Thief's End genre, action, adventure, third-person shooter, platform game overview. What if someone from your past suddenly comes back? Will you welcome him back? Nathan Drake is now living a peaceful and decent life working with his job. But suddenly, his long-lost brother, Sam Drake, suddenly came back and asked him favor. Nathan Drake was once a treasure hunter and adventurer. The moment that he thought that his treasure hunting life was over is the same moment that Sam came back and asked him to join another adventure of a dangerous treasure hunting journey. Since Nathan is a former hunter, he is definitely physically skilled. He can jump, sprint, climb, swim, swing and perform acrobatic actions that are all important to the game. Nathan agreed with Sam's favor since they had this strong relationship with each other. They begin to look for riches in the jungle, caves and even under the ocean. One of their traversals is a 4x4 car that can perform well on the terrains. They also ran into an island managed by pirates. There are a lot of gunfights and violent actions between the characters. A complete chaos indeed. Aside from its outstanding graphics and well-crafted layout, the action sequence is superb. Every moment is remarkable. Not to spoil you, but this is one of the games with the best ending. One of the best PS4 games to buy. 5. Yakuza 6, The Song of Life genre, action, adventure overview. A crime story happened in Kamurocho, Tokyo, where clans and thugs are well known to cause riots and chaos in the community. One day, after being in jail for 3 years, Kazuma Kiryu came back and later on found out that his daughter, Haruka, has been missing. Never mess with Kazuma Kiryu because he will do anything for his family. He insisted on leading the investigation on finding his daughter. During the investigation, he found out that her daughter, Haruka, has been in comatose due to a hit-and-run accident. Haruka was protecting his son, that is why she was hit by a car instead of his son. Kazuma Kiryu has already left his gangster life, but life is really full of surprises. It is like he has been tied with this kind of life. He went back to his thug life and started his journey in search of the people involved in the mysterious hit and run. Alongside his agenda, there are also some side quests that you can play with his character, like baseball matches and clan battles. There are also lots of brutal fistfights and gunfights throughout the game. Since this is the final chapter for the Yakuza series, we couldn't agree more that the epilogue is totally satisfying, which makes it belong to the best PS4 games to buy. 4. Red Dead Redemption 2 genre, action, adventure, shooter game overview. This game includes a group of robbers. A great game to add in the best PS4 games to buy with the best storyline. You will play the role of Arthur Morgan, one of the robbers in the Vanderlinde gang. In order to survive while escaping their beloved land, they must rob, steal and fight along the way. Brutal fights and big shootouts are some of the thrilling actions during the game. Since they are running from the law, they have set up a mining camp in the middle of a snowstorm. They eventually came up with a plan to rob a train. They performed a train robbery. This train is owned by one of the powerful groups named Leviticus Cornwall. After a successful robbery, they went to a small town in Valentine to hide and keep their profile low. Eventually, the owner of Leviticus Cornwall found Arthur Morgan's gang and asked them to give back what they robbed during the train robbery. Unfortunately, the group of Leviticus Cornwall was unable to get back their property, since we all know that Arthur Morgan belongs to a notorious gang. They managed to escape and travel to the south. They robbed a bank and went to the island of Garma. The island is owned by a plantation owner. The gang also kills the owner and uses its ship to escape. How far will it take for them to escape? 3. God of War, 2018, genre, action, adventure, hack and slash overview. Kratos has given a second chance. If you have been playing God of War since then, you will know the backstory of Kratos having vengeance towards the gods of Olympus. To make it short, he was tricked to kill his own family. But in this series, he was given a second chance. Kratos, a Spartan warrior, is now a protector of Atreus, his son. He is not in the Olympus anymore. You can also see that they incorporated Norse mythology in this game instead of Greek mythology, which makes it one of the best PS4 games to buy. Which unique concept. Kratos and Atreus are staying in their home in the forest. After cremating her wife, they decided to hunt for a deer. But when they follow the deer, corpses suddenly appear. After their encounter with the corpses, they finally followed the deer and Atreus successfully hit it in a bull's eye. But an unfortunate event occurred and a giant troll suddenly throws Atreus on the ground, so they have no choice but to fight back with this troll. Luckily, they won using an axe and a bow. Aside from its action-adventure theme, there is a great lesson that we will all learn from Kratos, and it is to always be better from what we are before. This is one of the best PS4 games to buy that includes a great narrative script. 2. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt genre, action, role-playing game, RPG, overview. This game is actually based on a book from Poland. It was developed into a dark fantasy kind of game. You will play the role of Geralt of Rivia. Geralt of Rivia is more powerful among the other Witchers. He also became a strong monster slayer for hire. But later on, he questioned his purpose in life. You can see the diversity between the two different beings in the game, respectively known as the humans and non-humans. This game has a personal touch of Geralt of Rivia's life adventure to look for the love of his life and his daughter after his soul was brought back into life by Yennefer, a special character in the game that has magical ability. Another mystery that you will unveil is that there are different and multiple dimensions and worlds in the game. Of course, characters in the game can easily and freely travel to these dimensions, but only the ones with elder blood are allowed to travel across different dimensions. You can also traverse if you obtain the mythical power of the Gate of the Worlds. A well-deserved game to add on your list of best PS4 games to buy. 1. The Last of Us, Part 2. Genre: Action, Adventure, Survival Horror. Overview: people can't stop talking about this game. This is indeed a masterpiece and deserves to be the top one in the PlayStation 4 games with the best storyline and one of the best PS4 games to buy. This is a sequel to 2013's The Last of Us video game that features a post-pandemic setting with meticulously detailed environment. We all know that Joel treats Ellie as her daughter since he already lost his real daughter. Joel killed a surgeon who happens to be the father of Abby, one of the survivors in the game. Since Abby has this vengeance towards Joel, she killed him in front of Ellie. After killing Joel, together with her group, Abby went to a different town. Ellie was left with sadness and loss. With the rage feeling inside her, she can't stop herself from seeking revenge. She hunts and gets revenge one by one to Abby's group members, showing no mercy at all. Until one day, Ellie decided to move on and let go of the rage inside her, but memories keep coming back. The grief and loss she felt when Joel was killed in front of her. The urge suddenly came back and she hunted Abby. She was able to locate and seek revenge to Abby in the ocean in Santa Barbara. Ellie tries to drown Abby, but Abby bitten her finger. Bloody ocean. And it was the moment that Ellie realized that repeating the same cycle won't make them stop. Abby had revenge to Joel and killed him. And there goes Ellie trying to kill Abby to get revenge for Joel. Remarks: those are the best PS4 games to buy with amazing storylines. What is your favorite among the 10 incredible PlayStation 4 games that we stated above? 2 thumbs up for all the amazing creators of these games. May you all develop more spectacular and well-written narrative games in the future.